Well, if we're
That'll be a no. That'll be a no then.
If we are to judge them on action so far on, for example, the real priority at the moment of tackling energy prices and the rocketing nature of those, then it's difficult to say that they do. Now, I'll just, let me mitigate that a little bit. I think that the focus has been very much on household energy crisis, and quite right that that is looked at. But of course, there's a cost of doing business as well, and ours is, as a sector, the third largest employer in the country. So, if the businesses fail, the jobs go. And therefore, that's part of the downward spiral that you're talking about. It just, it accentuates it, makes it worse.
Tony, explain to me, when I was young, all of us, I spent years in the pub trade, years. I even worked in TV and the pub trade behind a bar at the same time for 3 years while I was a TV presenter. Because I never thought the TV business would last. I still don't think it will last. But why, when you're 16, 17, 18, whatever, why aren't people falling over themselves to work in the hospitality industry? I mean, Guernsey was a very good example. When I was at school, and I was at school in Belfast, one of the things used to get circulated with come the summer was, do you want to work in the hospitality industry in the Channel Islands over the summer? So people would think, yeah, I could work in a pub, I could work in a restaurant, I could do that and I could get paid. Well, where's that market gone?
Well, if I'm going to be absolutely brutally honest, I don't think we've done a good enough job of selling careers in hospitality. Excuse me. And there's good reason that people should join. Firstly, even if you're going to be there for a short stint, you learn great, what they call soft skills, but, people management skills. You'll know that from working there yourself.
Absolutely. I learned behind a bar how to talk to people.
Exactly. And look where, it's got you a job in television, which is great. It's great to know that you're in hospitality. I'll come back and use you as a case study. But there's also, I don't think people really have been sold the truth about how you can progress in a career in hospitality so quickly. You can go from bar to board in a small number of years with a good bit of, to use a zeitgeist word, graft. You can, you can really move up there very quickly.
Yeah. Because could she have a point there, right? Just spreading this out. Could she have a point that people don't have the graft needed? Because I do look back to my own life as a teenager and into my 20s and whatever, and you knew if you wanted to buy a car, if you wanted to get yourself a new suit or new jeans or whatever it is, you had to graft for them. Graft is a very good physical word, what you have to do in your industry. Do you think there's a lot of youngsters who are maybe graft shy?
I wouldn't comment on those outside of hospitality, but the workforce we have in hospitality works damn hard. And
it's getting them, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's getting them.
It is. It's just reaching out to them. We're working.
Are there less of them? Are there less of them than there used to be?
There are fewer, certainly. We're looking at how we can sort of open up the channels directly from school, via apprenticeships and things like that. We're talking to government about how we can make the apprenticeship levy, for example, more flexible in order to train people up more quickly so that they can see how quickly that they can progress.
I know that you've written a letter to the government asking for support and for help, but what form does that take? What would actually provide a little bit of a prop for what you've said is that downward spiral?
Well, that letter was specifically about the energy crisis. And actually, the sort of blunt answer is anything. Because, as I say, the focus is currently on households, which is fine. But really, hospitality businesses need the confidence to plan, enable to invest, enable to, secure jobs. So really something that addresses or gives businesses confidence to be able to plan and to be able to know that they can overcome in particular, the energy prices that they're facing at the moment.
Have you had any response?
No, not yet, but it's been a matter of 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
You see, it's sad listening to you, Tony, there, because I think it reflects, and I go back to this Tony Blair delusion that 50% of young people should be university educated. Because I just wonder, does that then consequentially imply that hospitality trade, for instance, is not worthy, it's not of a level that you should want to aspire to, and it may just send out that message?
Well, it's certainly not a great message, but it's also really not one that's true, because there are a great number of skills, both soft and learnt, trained skills. I mean, it's not easy, for example, to be a chef. And there is such a shortage of those.
So hard.
It really is. So I think this is another failure, really, of the industry. Sorry to blame ourselves, but we really do need to convey to people the fact that there are so many skilled roles, as well as those more casual, easy entry jobs as well.
I don't know what we do. Is money the answer? Solely money? Is the industry coughing up more money to make the jobs financially more attractive? Is that the main answer?
Well, it certainly has been doing that, and we're still in the position that we're at. So it's certainly not the answer. Wages have increased, as I said before COVID, they're increasing significantly. They've continued to do so, but there's only so far in the tighter margin days that we're in that can go.